A lot of people heard me say that Paul was never an apostle and then ran straight to the broad dictionary definition of the word like that somehow solves everything. It doesn't, because my point was never about playing word games over whether apostle can sometimes mean sent one. My point is about office. My point is about authority, and my point is about the way Christianity treats Paul as if he holds the same governing apostolic weight as the original witness foundation. He doesn't. Acts 1 gave actual requirements for the replacement apostolic office. It wasn't vague vibes. It wasn't whoever had a powerful experience. It wasn't whether you call yourself an apostle 9 times or whoever becomes influential. It's the actual requirements. The replacement had to be someone who had been with them from the immersion of Yohanan until the ascension. Someone from that original witness circle. Someone who could stand as a resurrection witness with them. Matthias fit that spot. Paul didn't. And here's what makes the broad definition argument weak. In the loose sent one sense, almost anybody could claim to be an apostle. A preacher could, a missionary could, a teacher could, a guy with a camera and a Bible app could. Held by that standard, even I could claim it in the broad sense with the videos I've made. And that proves the problem. If the word gets so broad that almost anybody can wear it, then it can't carry the same governing weight as the original apostolic office. That's the issue. So yes, you can scream, but apostle just means sent one all day long. That still doesn't erase the office requirement. And it still doesn't justify treating Paul like he carries the same governing authority as the 12. That's why the broad definition argument is a dodge. It takes the conversation away from the real question: what office did Paul actually hold, and why is the church treating him as if he can functionally reinterpret Yahusha? That's where the corruption starts, because once Paul is inflated beyond his place, everything shifts. Paul becomes the lens, Paul becomes the filter, and Paul becomes the excuse, and Paul becomes the way people soften Torah, blur obedience, and force Yahusha to agree with the later system. And that's the danger. So no, this isn't me being confused about the word apostle. This is me being precise about the difference between a broad term and a governing office. And most of Christianity refuses to make that distinction, because once they do, Paul drops from untouchable apostolic center to a later figure who has to be tested under Yahusha and under Torah. And that changes everything. And that's exactly why I built the course that I did, because most people don't know how to make distinctions like this. They don't know how to test authority, classify office, trace covenant structure, or separate later doctrinal inflation from the actual framework of the text. And inside the course, I break that down. I walk through the Yahusha Codex, the authority structure of the teachings, the covenant standard Yahusha upheld, and the deeper scriptural framework that shows how later systems moved Paul into a place he was never meant to hold. So if you're tired of dictionary games, church slogans, and Paul being treated like the center of the faith, get in the course at school.com/undeniable truths. It's built to give structure, not loopholes or slogans, actual structure. So no, nobody found a loophole. A broad word doesn't erase a specific office. Matthias fit the requirement, Paul didn't, and that's still the point.